including your lien holders. Now you'll see a drop down here. If you have a contracted service with either Simple Certified or R Mail, and it's turned on for you, you will see those delivery options here now. So I'm just gonna go ahead and select the document again. Let's go to test and add the delivery method, and that should be there. Hold on. Okay, let's try a different one. Technical difficulties. Here we go. So when I go back to edit the document in here, let's say previously I didn't have any delivery method. Now I have all these choices. For the purposes of this demo, you're seeing both our mail's registered email service and all of Simple Certified's traditional mail services, including certified mail, first class mail with certificate of mailing, certified mail with electronic return receipt, and lastly, the standard email that Hummingbird offers. Okay. So let's say you set these up with one of your preferred mailhouse integration methods. Where do I see these documents when they actually do get generated? This is where the Notice Manager comes into play. Over here in the Notice Manager, you will see your document batches. They're organized by the type of document that was generated, the delivery method, who was delivered by, the date, the quantity, if there are any errors, the current status of that entire batch, and if anybody downloaded it. And if you need to know what the statuses are, there's a little tool tip here. I'll tell you, we have error, in progress, completed, print and mail. Now, if for any reason it's not completed, if it's, let's say, in progress or has some kind of error, what you need to do is you can drill down from here. And there's only one in here now, but you should be able to see multiple. And they'll tell you what the exact document status individually is for that particular tenant, for that document. If there are any errors that need to be resolved, you can always reprint them here again. That's our Notice Manager. So that was delinquency. There's one other spot you can choose these delivery methods, and that's going to be under your rent management. So if I'm creating a rent increase for a tenant today, I'm going to go ahead and create manual rent change. I'm not going to go through this entire process here, but as you can see, add rent change notification is a drop down where you can select your document again. So let's go with rent increase notice for this one rather. Add your delivery method. And depending on what you're contracted to use or integrated with, all the same options you saw in the delinquency automation section. Yep.
What if we're using Veritech? What if we're using Veritech to generate all this? Can it can be automated?
Yeah, anything within the rent management module, if it's something from our own RevMan system, if it's something from Veritech or otherwise, the delivery methods will be available to you if you're integrated with that method.
Just to add to that, if you were using like the Veritech revenue management system, what we would be doing is we would be inputting the date, the effective date of the rent increase, and the new rent amount into Hummingbird, and then everything else stays as it is. So we're just populating two items, the amount of the rent increase and with the effective date. Now, obviously in the system itself, it makes a recommendation as to how much the rent should be increased by it. So that's where you would review it, accept it, override it, whatever you would want to do. But once you populate it, then they take over.
Awesome. David, are you going to demo Charm?
Mind if I do?
So, does anybody know what a charm is? A charm is a flock of hummingbirds. They're a group of hummingbirds. That is what a charm, like I think a group of crows, I think is called a murder or something. But a group of hummingbirds is called a charm. And this is something many years ago we envisioned, and now you're going to see it pop to life. And it's not released in beta yet, but it's getting close. And from a remote perspective, and a smaller operator perspective, I think you're gonna really like this. This is a CRM tool that allows you to remotely manage incoming calls and handle them in specific ways. So this is the cross your fingers. By the way, we're 100% pretty much. We really haven't broken anything yet today, which if you think about like 3 hours of demoing software, like Apple can't get through that. Like, that's pretty good score. I wouldn't want to try to do that again tomorrow.
Okay, I think it'd be just really fun to have someone in the audience call this number. Who wants to volunteer? Anybody?
We need to explain what time it is.
Oh, yeah.
I think we need to explain charm.
Yeah. So charm is a
Not a
telephony.
trap,
It's a telephony CRM system to help you manage existing customers, new customers, leads. In other words, get that information about an incoming call and make quick decisions about it, and gather that information, get the recordings if it is a recording, call people back, and manage your tenants. So somebody step up with a phone number. Robbie Knight will do it.
All right, when you're ready. 949-229-3417. I'm gonna ask that you mute your phone as soon as it starts dialing, just so we don't get any crazy feedback. So that's you calling right there. I'm not gonna answer it right now. I don't wanna get any crazy feedback. I'm gonna send you the voicemail. So as soon as I send you the voicemail, you see that we're calling this little pop-up window here, Toast. So,
But you don't want your managers doing that. And forget about our staff, right? This is cloud. You can be doing this on your iPad while you're at the bank or wherever at home.
okay, so since I put your call away, what will happen is that you'll see this number update at the top. You can see these are all related to your phone calls here. So we have quite a few voicemails, quite a few missed calls. When I click the missed calls button, I'm gonna see that there's a new lead here. I don't know why it says retired. In any case, that's your phone number right there, right? 949-331-6347. Perfect. We have you forever now. Now, as you can see, when you look at the missed call, there's a callback timer. It'll tell you how long since you missed this potential. If you leave voicemail, which I believe you might have. In any case, this unknown number has now been captured as a lead. So when you go to the leads module of Hummingbird now, you'll see that unknown caller captured there. Might take a second here. Okay. Again, this is still in pre-beta mode, so it will populate eventually.
Yeah, well, in beta mode, it's not going to move very quickly. But you have your missed calls, your voicemails that you can respond to if you've been out of the office.
Yeah. So I left this voicemail for myself earlier, and you can play it back directly from the Toast. I don't know if you can hear it, but there's your try. Yeah. Most of you guys heard that, right? Now, if I want to, I can call back directly from this voicemail too. So I'm dialing my own number right now. I already created myself as a tenant in here, so it's already going to recognize me.
Yes, you have all the information about the store that they're calling if you're answering for multiple stores, or if you have multiple stores, and you have all the information about that particular customer with all of these quick actions, whether they're making a payment, moving into another unit.
Okay, my reception's not so good.
Corey's at Doctor's Day. We're very close, like a week or two from giving this to a beta user. Well, so we're gonna want a couple beta users on this to knock the edges off. But this has been a pretty long project to get here. And this gives you this quick dashboard of what's going on within those missed calls. By the way, this is something up here that is not on our list. I'm just gonna talk, this was an idea I had that everybody just apparently hates, or hates me or something. The concept behind this, and we actually sort of built it in a little test module, was APIing into Zoom to where a user, if the Zoom class is in action, in other words, we have a customer service person that's online at the time, this little thing is live, and you click it, and you're automatically communicating with a customer service person via Zoom, where you can screen share, and they can draw circles around, oh, push that button, do this, do that. So, again, apparently my development team hates me because we haven't got that out yet. But you may see that next meeting. And back to that customer service thing, and just having a class that's staffed. I think that'd be a pretty powerful tool. Nobody else is doing that. And for me, the Zoom thing, it's more about sharing the screens and being able to point to things and teach the customer as opposed to doing it for them. No, click that button, right? Push that, fill that in. So, what else can you tell us about Charm? How you can hide the,
Yeah, I'm gonna show that in 1 second. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm using my phone to dial. I'm already in known team, so all of your tenant details will populate there within the toast too. I'm just gonna continue to let it ring here. So if you wanna check your voicemails while you're doing this, you can multitask. Another toast will pop up, and it's minimally interferes with the rest of what you're doing in your workflow. So you can navigate to every page in Hummingbird, and that toast will stay there if you want it to stay there, even your settings, right? Now, if you don't want it to be in there anymore, if you're looking at a report, go ahead and hit hide. That'll hide the toast.
or that incoming call, can I move it out of the way if it's covering something?
Oh yeah,
I need to?
absolutely. Let me know it again.
So the incoming call, you saw the little handlebar on it, like if it is blocking something you need to see, if you're servicing a customer, you can just slide it out.
You can move it
It'll
anywhere
snap
now.
out.
Yep, just like that. Keep it right there.
This will give you reporting on missed calls, time on call, how people are handling calls, call recordings. This communication unifies in. Did that unify into the communication widget?
Yes.
Right. So if you were to go to your customer page, right? And there's probably a link in here to go to the tenant profile.
Yeah, so from the missed calls here, let's see, let me go back, look at the missed call. You can go to the profiles.
So shoot right to the profile, and then that communication will unify in here, including call recordings.
Yeah. And then if you notice there are links, like the hyperlink for my phone number here. If you click the hyperlink for the phone number, you can make a phone call or SMS to the tenant again, directly from the tenant profile.
Okay. Well, perfect timing. So I'm going to take questions on this, but team, great job, because we've never done this before. We didn't know what format would work. Hopefully I get feedback from you guys. Give it to me tonight at dinner. And we will adjust the format of these user conferences based on this experience. But we took a while to ask yes at the timing, and it looks like we're kind of right on track. So great job, everybody. I really appreciate it. But let's take questions on Charm, because that's a biggie.
Is it gonna do the same number that the software text from as well?
On the outbound text?
Yeah.
That's a Corey question. No.
So these are virtual numbers via Twilio. So you're gonna pay for your standard usage charges. So let's say you have 3 different phone numbers. What you can do is you can attribute them to different sources. The phone number I was calling in, we called it a website lead attribution. So
And that's a good point. Expanding on that, right? If you're using a phone number for paid ads or for, for social or TikTok, I don't care what, you will see that inbound call attributed from a marketing perspective to that lead source.
So yeah, theoretically, you could have Yelp, website one. We just set this one up as a website one right now. Eventually, future functionality will include, when you look at the leads report, it's also going to tell you exactly which attribution it's coming from as well.
Renee?
Can you eventually, or maybe now, like transfer to the managers at the computer, can they transfer to the call center?
I don't believe there's call routing or conferencing right now. This entity.
When we'll release this,
I'm sorry, Cliff?
Somebody else from a different location.
when
Looking
will,
at that, can they call from?
Do you mean like multiple users in the same
I think
Hummingbird?
Ron can answer this question.
so when we'll release this full functionality at that time, the path will be that somebody calls, it shows up over here, you do not attend it, it will send, reroute it to your call center. And other thing is that when this thing appears, like basically we wanna add a functionality as well, that if you have multiple agents available, then they all like have the ability to take the call, as in like not get on a conference call, but like if one person is not available, it goes to another person and that person can take the call as well. So it's in the pipeline.
I have some notes here from Corey. She did want me to share this with you because I'm sure these are the questions that most commonly would be asked. So if you have two different people working on the same Hummingbird instance at the same time, a call comes in, one person can pick up. If a subsequent call comes through, the other person can pick that up. Outbound calls, two people can make two different outbound calls to two different tenants at the same time. The upper limit right now for multiple users in the same Hummingbird taking incoming calls is up to 4 sequential calls for 4 different tenants.
Any other questions?
Just one, will we be able to like turn this off if it's after hours and then auto route all back through the XPS, or will it always run through Charm then to XPS?
No, they'll, in the very first beta, I don't know, but absolutely, yeah, you have to be able to set up times because you want it immediately to go to the call center. Yes, no doubt.
Yeah, that's part of system settings. Even the question Renee asked, a lot of those things in terms of how many rings you have to wait or how long you have to wait before you forward it to the call center, all of those will be configurable options for this Charm.
Awesome. Thank you, David. Is there another question? Where?
John, have a
The listing of missed calls, does the managers follow up or not follow up, track through a report so you can keep track of what your manager's doing or not doing?
That kind of seems very similar to a question earlier about the audit trail.
Yeah.
Yeah, an audit trail would need to be built in for this, but that's something we could do. Yeah.
it is, there is a company this feature as well, just like anything else.
So there are a lot of data points that we are recording for this, and we'll be releasing like reports for that. One of them is what you asked for. Other things are like, what is your average hold time, or how many calls, what is the percentage of calls you are actually picking it up, and all those things will also be available through reporting. Again, in the full version, not the beta.
Yeah, so right now it's not a replacement for a true call center software. But what it is it's a really simple but powerful phone solution that allows you to leverage Hummingbird as a CRM.